Jenny was cross. She hated living in the city, waking up to the sound of car horns and petrol fumes. Jenny wanted to be free, to live life. One night, as Jenny was lying in bed trying to sleep before all the streetlights came on, she had a genius idea. Later that night, knowing her parents were asleep, Jenny crept out of bed, wrote a note telling her mum and dad she had just gone for a small early morning walk. Jenny walked 15 kilometres to the next town. Once there, she found a small beach. Using seaweed and driftwood, Jenny constructed a raft just big enough to hold her and the few things that were packed. By now it was almost 12 o'clock. Jenny opened her jam sandwich. Later, when Jenny got tired, she threw her anchor, a stone with a rope, down. She stopped paddling and fell asleep. Jenny woke by the sun shining in her eyes. It was 7 o'clock. Jenny woke by the sun shining in her eyes. It was 7 o'clock. After 3 hours of paddling, she sighted an island, perhaps 8 kilometres away. It looked empty and deserted. She could see plenty of things that would build an awesome habitable hut with. Once there, she started building a hut and furniture from natural materials. Then she gathered food and a freshwater spring ran through the island. She made a small cut out of some slimy seaweed. She washed the seaweed first. The banana tree had loads of bananas, and there were mussels on the shore. The sun was starting to set. She made a fire by rubbing sticks together. Making a fishing net just out of flax, Jenny was very good at art, so making things like this was easy for her. Jenny caught and cooked and ate the small fish. She carried on living like this for 5 years. After these 5 years, something felt wrong. It was really important for her to go back to New York for. She wasn't homesick, but something had happened. Jenny got in her boat and packed a few of her things and headed off for the mainland. Once there, she walked into the city. She went to her old house where her parents were still living. Her dad, who she only just recognised, was on the chair sobbing. She asked why. In a rather muffled voice, he replied, "Jenny, your mother's dead. She died 2 days ago in a car accident." After the funeral, Jenny took her beloved dad, Nana and friend to the island. Her things were there and they stayed there for a week. Her Nana and friend and dad were very impressed at how Jenny had lived the past few years.